Hi friends, welcome back. Today we are going to solve LeetCode problem 1267, count servers that communicate. Before we go through the description of the problem and some examples, I just want to mention that my channel focuses on helping people who are preparing for coding and Java interviews. And on my channel there are more than 200 solved problems explained in details with Java code, and those problems were taken from interviews that were asked by big tech companies like Amazon, Apple, Facebook, Google, Microsoft, Yahoo, etc. And those problems consist of different varieties, which is very important from perspective of interviews, which is includes like dynamic programming, linked list, string related interview questions, graph, binary search trees, binary trees, BFS, DFS, and other logical questions. So if you are preparing for coding interviews or Java interviews, please subscribe to this channel now. This channel can definitely help you during your preparation for coding and Java interviews. So let's go through the problem description of the count servers that communicate. You are given a map of server center represented as m into n integer matrix grid, where 1 means that on that cell there is a server and 0 means that there is no server. Two servers are said to communicate if they are on the same row or on the same column. Return number of servers that can communicate with any other server. So for example, in this given first example, right, as you can see, there is 0 servers which can communicate with each other, right? Because if we take this first one, then on this row and column there is no other server, so it cannot communicate with any other server. And for this one also, in this row and in this column, it is the only server. There is no other servers on which are available on the row and column that it is there, so there is no server it can communicate, so answer is 0. So we will take these big examples over here and we will discuss how we are going to solve this problem. So what we are going to do here, so so a server can communicate, for example, let me explain you. A server can communicate other server if there must be some other server on the same row or same column, right? So same row or same column. So for example, here there is another server, right, in the same row, so this server can communicate with this server basically. So which means that these two servers can communicate with each other, right? So we can count these servers as communicable with each other, right? Similarly, if we are thinking about these two servers, they are on the same column, right? So they can communicate with each other. So total there are 4 servers that can communicate with each other, right? So we, as you can see, output is 4. So this is what the problem is. We have to find out on the given grid how many servers are there which can communicate with each other, right? So let me just remove these colors quickly so I can reuse it. So what we are going to do is we will start iterating through the grid from the beginning to the end, right? From this point to the end until this point. And then whenever we find any servers, right, then we will keep like a count of how many servers we have available in that row and in that column basically, right? So once we visit this server, we will create two matrix, right? One is horizontal and one is vertical. And for example, let's just talk about the horizontal matrix, right? So this index is 0, then this is 1, then this is 2, and this is 3, right? So this is the index, and for vertical this is 0 index, this is 1 index, this is 2 index, and this is 3 index, which means that this is 0th row, first row, second row, third row, right? So we will while iterating through the matrix grid by grid, cell by cell, right, we will create the horizontal and vertical matrix, which will tell us how many computers are available in that row and in that column, right? So as you can see, this is the 0th row, so we have 2 computers, so we will calculate that 2 here. This is the first row, there is 1 computer, so we will calculate 1 here, right? Then this is the second row, we have 1 computer in the second row, so we will calculate 1 here. And for the third row there is one other server here, right? So we will calculate 1 here, right? So similarly, we will prepare a matrix for vertical servers, right? So 0th column one server, first column one server, second column two servers, right? As you can see here. So this is 2 here for second column, and for third column one server, right? Third column there is one server. So we will first iterate through this matrix, and we will have we will create horizontal and vertical arrays, right? We will populate that, so we will have this information handy. After that, what we will do is we will take one variable called as count, right? It will be 0 in the beginning, and we will again start iterating second time from this matrix, again from the beginning to end, right? From this point again we will start iterating like this, right? So first row, then second row, then third row, and fourth row, right? And whenever we see any computer, for example, if we see computer here, we will check if we will know the position of this row and column, right? So we will check if that row and column either should have, you know, more than one servers available. So for example, this 0th row has two servers, right? So we will know that it has more servers available for communication, so we will increment our count to 1 here, right? Similarly, when we reach here, again we will check if there are any other server available, right, in the same row and column. So we will find that there is another server available in the same row, right, because of this horizontal 2, right? Because still we have I is equal to 0. So if I is equal to 0 means row 0, we have two servers, right? So we will again increment the count from 1 to 2 here. When we reach here, right, then again we will check if we have more than one server available in this row or column. So in the column we see that there is another server available, so we will, and how we will see? Because of this, right? Because of this we will see. So second column has two servers, right? So that's how we will know, and we will again increment that 2 to 3, and when we reach this again, we will again find one more server, right? So we will increment 3 to 4 here, right? Because this server can also communicate with this server basically, and this information we will get from vertical matrix from this point, right? This point. So this is the approach that we are going to take, and at the end of the matrix, whatever count we get, the 4 we will return as our answer. So this is the approach we are going to take to solve count servers that can communicate problem. So let's go and take a look at the implementation now. So first I calculate number of rows and number of columns m and n here, right? And then I create a vertical matrix and horizontal matrix because I want to keep track of the how many servers available in each row and each column, right? So I created that here using the same size of the grid, right? And after that, I am just going to iterate from all the rows and all the columns, right? Means we will go cell by cell from all the cells in the 2D grid that's given to us, right? And whenever we see non-zero value, right, which means that there is a server available, we will create like horizontal I plus plus and vertical J plus plus, right? So that's how we can populate how many servers are there horizontally available in that each row and each column, right? For example, for a 0 we will say horizontal 0 plus plus, right? For this one, or 0 plus plus, right? Horizontal 0 plus plus, here also horizontal 0 plus plus, right? So that's how we will get at 0th position we will get 2 here, right? So that is the approach. And for vertical we will get vertical 2 plus plus because for the second column, so 2 times we will get 2 plus plus because there are two servers, so we will get 2 here. So we are going to populate horizontal and vertical array here when we are traversing through the matrix. So after we are done, so this one is time complexity is order of m into n, right? So number of rows into number of columns. So similarly, we just created one count variable 0, and again we are now iterating second time, right? But this is separate loop, right? So the total time complexity for the algorithm is order of m into n here, right? Because we have to iterate through every cell in the grid from starting cell until to the ending cell here, right? So order of, so time complexity is order of m into n here, right? M into n is the time complexity, and space complexity is order of m plus n because we have created two arrays, right? This vertical and horizontal arrays we have created, m by n size, right? So that is what the space complexity we have to count. Others are simply variables. We are not using any special data structures or anything, right? So let us go and continue with our solution. So now for the second for loop iteration, we just first create count variable and we are again iterating through our 2D grid, right? And whenever we find any server, then we will check, if vertical j is greater than 1 or horizontal I is greater than 1. What it means is that is this row has more than one server or is this column has more than one server, right? If that is the case, then this server can communicable, like this is a communicable server, right? So we will increment our count in that case. So we will check for each and every cell in the 2D grid and at the end we will return our count, right? So that is how we will get 4 here as the answer. So let us take the same example and let's just run our code against this example to make sure the code works fine. So as you can see, we are getting 4 and 4 is the correct answer, right? So 4 is the correct answer. Now what we will do is, as another test case, is we will put one more computer or one more server at this location. So our answer should become 6 in that case, right? 6 it should become. So let us modify the unit test case. So here we are going to put 1 here, right? So that's what we are doing. So now these two servers can also add up to the 4, so it will become 6. So let's just go ahead and run this test case. So it should give us 6 as our answer. So we are correct. So we are getting 6 as communicable servers, right? And if we add here also, let's say if we add one more server, then it should become 7. So let's just add one more server here. So this position we are adding one more server, so it should become 7 in this case because we have one more communicable server, so it becomes 7, right? So our solution works fine. So let's take all the examples that they have given us, all these unit test cases. We'll just make sure those passes and then we will submit our solution. So 0, 3, 4 and 0, 3, 4 here, right? So we are getting correct answer, so we'll just submit our solution now. So our solution is almost 99% faster than other submissions and almost 70% faster on memory, which is very good. So this is the way we can solve count servers that communicate. So what we did is we iterated the 2D grid and we created the horizontal and vertical, these two arrays we created and populated, and after that again we iterated through the grid and then we counted how many communicable servers are there using the vertical and horizontal arrays that we created, right? So that is the approach we took to solve this problem. If you haven't already checked my playlist on my channel, there is a playlist called as LeetCode and LeanCode Solutions. It has over 200 solved problems that were asked by big tech companies such as Apple, Amazon, Facebook, Google, Microsoft, Yahoo, etc. And those are handpicked problems that constitute different varieties, like dynamic programming, graph related problems, binary search trees, binary tree related problems, then linked list and different string related interview questions and coding questions solved and explained with examples. So if you are preparing for any Java coding questions or if you are preparing for Java interview questions, there is another playlist called as Java interview, which focuses on different telephonic interview questions that were very popular in Java interviews and how to answer them. So this channel can definitely help you. If you find this video helpful, if you like the solution, please hit like and subscribe to the channel, because that is the way the video can reach to more people like you who are preparing for coding and Java interviews. They can also watch these videos and get helped understanding the concepts and coding questions. So please subscribe to the channel and thanks for watching the video.